Hello, Canucks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Canucks Conversation, brought to you as always by the great folks over at Zephyr Epic. You can use promo code Hockey Season, capital H, capital S, all one word, Hockey Season. That will get you $5 off your order at Zephyr Epic. Check them out online, ZEPHYR Epic.com, or check out their retail location in Surrey, British Columbia.
And it's a good time to be at Zephyr Epic right now. Let's see some of these things, Aaron. Here, Quads, you can get your pack going. Aaron, pull these up here. Please, Aaron. I'm going to start. Me and Aaron are on good sides today. We're on the same side. Upper Deck Series 1 Hockey Retail Box. Regular $89.99 down to $48.98. What a steal. They got 40% off, up to 40% off on their big fall sale over there at Zephyr Epic. So shout out to them.
That is a steal.
The website's booming. I was just saying to Aaron, when you were out, you were relieving yourself outside there. This is basically 1990s prices. You're paying $2 a pack. That when I was growing up, Quads, before you even were like born, I used to go down to Sports Card Alley in Nanaimo. Everyone in Nanaimo knows the Sports Card Alley. It's been there forever. Yeah. You go down there, you get a pack for $2, and you're basically paying that here with the cozy card sale.
So go check them out
if you're on YouTube here.
I opened up my
cute little Pikachu.
Yeah, I opened up my pack here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to mine here.
I'm gonna let you try to guess which Canuck I pulled. Right-handed defenseman. Probably gonna make this a little too easy. 2019-20 is what we're opening. Okay, right-handed defenseman. Went on to play for the Arizona Coyotes.
Troy Stecher.
Yes, Troy Stecher.
Yep. Easy.
Yeah, that was a little too easy.
Too easy.
What's my insert? I
got a shooting stars of Jack Eichel as Buffalo Sabres captain.
This was all base cards.
A little bit of an old pack.
Yep.
But Zephyr Epic, good stuff over there. And they got the big sale going on. Before we get going into too much Canucks talk, I want to give a shout out to, and I know you feel on the same page about this, what Travis Dermott did on Saturday. We didn't touch on it on Monday's show. Travis Dermott for taking a stand. He used the pride tape in the Saturday night game. Trent had the tweet here that went nuclear, the tweet, because there was a lot of support behind it from the hockey community. A lot of fans, a lot of dumbasses as well, replying as well in the comments. But I think a lot of support came from this. And I think it was bold of Travis Dermott to do this. This is, this is making a strong statement against a rule that was imposed by the NHL, which was a stupid rule. And Travis Dermott commented on it. This is from from GoPhoenix.com. This is from Travis Dermott. You don't really want to go against rules that are put into place by your employer, but there's some people who took some positive things from it. That's kind of what I was looking to impact. You want to have everyone feel included, and that's something that I have felt passionate about for a long time in my career. It's not like I just jumped on this train. It's something that I've felt has been lacking in the hockey community for a while. I feel like we need supporters of a movement like this to have everyone feel included and really to beat home the idea that hockey is for everyone, and that's it. And today, Elliott Friedman sends out this tweet. I think this is a reaction to Travis Dermott pulling.
You think so?
Pulling that statement on Saturday. Yep. Elliott Friedman says there's word that the NHL, NHLPA, and NHL Player Inclusion Coalition have agreed that players will have the opinion to represent social causes with stick tape. Whatever. Stick tape throughout the season. This includes games and practices. So good on Travis Dermott.
The cojones on this guy, because people already laid it out that look, this is a guy on a two-way deal. Not much job security at all for Travis Dermott. And maybe this is 10, 15 years ago. He's kind of ostracized from the league, and it's over for Travis Dermott. But no, the league repealing their policy that, like we both said, should not have been in place in the first place. And just. Yeah, in terms of what the
NHL
thought process
getting in their own way here a little bit.
Yeah,
I think this is something that didn't need to happen. They didn't need to ban the pride tape. I get the jersey nights. I get that they're trying to make their players less uncomfortable for the guys that didn't want to wear them. Sure, whatever, all that stuff. But the pride tape, I thought, was a stupid rule. I think we touched on it a little bit the other week when this news came down. I just think this is the type of stuff that you want to see professional athletes who have a platform, who have fans, who have the ability to make some kind of impact on the sport. Major props to Travis Dermott for doing this. And
who was always very nice when we dealt with him in Vancouver.
I loved dealing with Travis Dermott, and I was not surprised to see him support the pride community and stick up against his employer. Like you said, this is something that's difficult to do, right? And just want to give him a major prop here off the top of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Rightfully so. Okay. Canucks are in Nashville tonight. It's the Frozen Frenzy. We can't even watch it in Canada. I don't even know what to say. Like, someone in Ontario pointed this out, and They said if you're in Ontario, the only game that you can watch.
Wow.
Actually, there is no game that you can watch. It's just baseball. You can only watch baseball tonight on Sportsnet because it's a regional blackout for the Canucks. It's a regional blackout for the Oilers. You cannot watch the game in Toronto.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
At least I saw it on Twitter. It must be true, right? But
yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I could check with some people, but I don't want to do that.
If you
right
say
now.
that, all the replies in the Travis Dermott tweet, do you agree with as well then, Quad? So I don't know. You got to be careful what you're reading on that on the old social media there, man. I don't think that's true at all. I think you can watch a Leafs game if you live in Toronto.
No, because it's
you can't watch
Sportsnet. I'm saying. I think the Leafs one is on what's it called?
Yeah,
TSN.
but they got 7 of those channels and stuff. You know.
I don't know.
I think I get what they're trying to do here with the Frozen Frenzy thing. Every single game is being.
I just don't get why you're not carrying it in Canada.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But you know what? And it's funny because I praised the AHL last couple of weekends for giving away free AHL games. Why wouldn't you just make it like the NHL network available everywhere? Like, how difficult could that be for just tonight? Like, hey, you can go to NHLnetwork.com or whatever they're using, punch in, get an email, free account for the day. You can watch all the thing. And are they doing like a red zone thing? I don't really understand. Is it sort of like red zone? Like, are they going to be bouncing through games with like a panel? Because that would be smart, I think. Even though you're just copying exactly what red zone is, I would probably think that copying red zone's a good idea because think about you and I talk about this on Sunday mornings every day at 10 o'clock. Red zone's like changed the way you can watch football.
Yes.
It would be pretty cool if they could do that with the NHL, even if it's not live, because it's not like you have a red zone to dive into, but you could have a, hey, here's a power play live, or hey, this just happened in Anaheim. This just happened in New Jersey. Like, I don't know. It makes a lot of sense there.
People also pointed out that it's like, this is happening on Tuesday. It's not all day.
Aaron in our chat here says, yes, there will be a red zone version with John Buccigross. Let's get Aaron in here. Aaron, what are you doing? He's picking his nose. Aaron, what do you think about the Frozen Frenzy here? What's the Oilers situation tonight? You don't care. When McDavid doesn't play, do the Oiler fans even watch? What's going on over there?
Hey, we riding together and we're banding together because it's all hands on deck in Edmonton. But I think this free agent frenzy, Frozen Frenzy.
We got kids in the car, Aaron. Language.
I know everybody's been kind of complaining about that it's on a Tuesday, right? And that, like, if you actually want people to watch, why are you doing this? I think the first game starts earlier, but whatever. Why are you doing it? I'm less on that. I like that they're trying this stuff. Like, NHL isn't that popular to everybody in, I'd say, more so the United States. Red Zone, Faber, you're like me. I spend my entire Sunday hanging out with Scott Hansen for the NFL Sunday slate there. It's fantastic. I think it's a great idea. I'm going to be trying to find a way to stream Quads, but don't tell anyone. But stream this Frozen Frenzy version where they're going to do all the games. I don't know. It's a cool idea. This would have been so much better if it was on a Saturday and you could do it all day long and just kind of start at 10 a.m. Everybody kind of gets a little more space. But then it kind of deletes from the red zone idea because I think the red zone part's going to be very cool if it's all power plays. We'll show you every goal. I like that aspect, but I don't know. On a Tuesday, it's a work day for everybody. It's just, I don't know. It's not great.
And the thing is, there's people in our chat that don't know what Red Zone is, and they don't know what Frozen Frenzy is. So let's quickly explain it. So Red Zone is the NFL's answer, basically. What they've come up with is it's hosted. It's 7 hours of commercial-free football every single Sunday. It used to be free on TSN on their app. Now it's paid for. You can get DAZN or DAZN, whatever it's called. DAZN to watch it now. And basically what it is, it has a host and they cycle through anytime there's any action in any of the games. And there's a lot of games at the same time on Sundays. So that's when it's on. It starts at 10 a.m. Pacific and then it ends right before the Sunday night football matchup. So the Canucks, the NHL is trying to have their own version of that on ESPN. It's just happening on a Tuesday afternoon / night. This doesn't start till 6 o'clock at night tonight on the East Coast in ESPN, on ESPN land.
Here's the argument that I heard against it too. It's like they don't want to go on Saturday because they don't want to go up against NCAA football. Why the hell not? Hockey fans are going to watch, and then hockey fans are going to talk about it to other friends of theirs. I think that's the way to do it.
I wouldn't
or even make it even like a Friday night would be fine too. But I wouldn't worry so much about. I know that like Americans are going. Like, listen, you're not going to get all of them to tune in. Are they all tuning into tonight's game? Some of them are still
and
at work.
This is the thing we talked about was
Kyle's got a good point. Commercial free, that's best. So I hope they do that for the end.
I bet they won't.
I bet they won't, but I bet, if they did, that would be very smart.
I also just want to say, would it be fine on a Friday night? Because I disagree. Like, I think you absolutely should go up on a Saturday.
All day long.
Like, that's what you should be doing.
Imagine waking up at 8 a.m. Pacific time and you got
exactly.
games.
Like,
yeah,
start it
like
at noon Eastern, 11 Eastern, right? Like start the games then. I don't think that's that big of an issue. And the thing is, like, the reason they chose Tuesday, it's that joke about how you tell your girlfriend that you're going to give up Tuesday night football just for her. There's no football on Tuesday nights. That's why this is happening. Like,
I used to play in a pickup league. It was Tuesday nights at UVic. Flag football.
Were those televised?
No, but
also flag football in the Olympics. We should talk about this.
Oh man, no, save that for another day.
One day
we got too much. J-Pat's coming up in 2 minutes.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are we good on that? We got Canucks stuff to get to.
Yeah, we do.
We spent too much time on this. We spent more time than the NHL has done on the Frozen
Let's get
Frenzy
to the Canucks stuff after J-Pat. Let's bring him in. Jeff Paterson.
So we're no Canucks with J-Pat the whole time.
No, we'll talk Canucks. Okay. And Jeff Paterson's
here. What kind of intro was that? What are we talking about then?
Whatever, I'll do the ad read.
Well, we've been doing a lot of Frozen Frenzy talk here, Jeff. Maybe we'll start there. What do your thoughts?
Can you feel the energy? Look, I'm all for it. The NHL's trying something a little different. They're not going up against Monday Night Football. The bulk of the NBA schedule starts tomorrow. I think they saw this as an early season date on the schedule that they could do something like this. But it's sort of typical ESPN and NHL fashion. You roll out all these games. You start at 3:00 Pacific time, but you also have the Flyers, an Eastern-based team, starting at 8:00 in Vegas. Like, welcome to the Frozen Frenzy there, Philadelphia fans. Wake up tomorrow morning and find out how your team did. Like, I don't know. That just feels to me like, there's always an Eastern team out west and a Western team out east. And look, scheduling is nearly impossible. I totally admire the guys that, and I know that it's aided by computers these days, but you're always going to be lacking somewhere. And for the Canucks to get a 6:15 Pacific time start to 8:15 in Nashville. So it's fairly late. I mean, NHL games generally don't start after 8:00 local time. And yet you look at this road trip, the Oilers home opener was 8:00 local in Edmonton, but it was the home opener with festivities. And I looked it up on the score sheet. It didn't start till 8:18. And then there was the baseball playoffs in Philly. And so they had to bump that one up. It was a 6:00 start. So, they've seen a few unique start times along the way, but it's the same for both teams. You just got to be ready. And for the Vancouver Canucks, a chance to come on home after a really successful road trip if they can get the victory tonight at Bridgestone Arena.
Somebody brought up, I got to get to this. We have the best listeners. I know every show says that, but we do. Antagonist in the chat says NBA also starts today as well. That's going to take away a lot of people that are just sports fans. They're going to choose the NBA opener over this Frozen. I don't even know what it's called. Frozen Frenzy, Frozen 40 games, whatever it is.
Frozen 4.
Jeff, what we're worried about is the Vancouver Canucks. That's what we said we're going to talk about. Nashville Predators tonight. You brought it up, 6:15. Biggest note for me going into this game, and something you and I spent a decent amount of time on Rink Wide talking about, at least definitely touched on it, was Nils Höglander. Looks like he's going to get back into the lineup tonight. I was telling you on Rink Wide this past weekend that I thought he's been great this season. I think he's starting to learn a little bit more from the coaching staff. I think he's starting to figure out what kind of role he needs to play. I felt like he was gaining some momentum. Then he was sad on Saturday night. He's going to get back in the lineup tonight. What are your thoughts on Nils getting back into the lineup tonight for the Canucks and what you've seen from him this year?
Yeah, I honestly, I think great is a little, it's a stretch. You're using that word liberally, but he's had his moments, but this is a guy that started training camp on the top line and progressively worked his way down to the point where on the final night of the preseason looked like a dress rehearsal and he wasn't even in the lineup. So, some things clearly happened from the start of camp to the end of the preseason that didn't allow him to maintain his spot up higher in the lineup. But, I think that they've got a few players, and Studnicka is one of them, and it looks like he comes out and Höglander gets his opportunity. You get your chance, do something. You ever heard those two words put together? And I think for Höglander, he does. Like, it's not enough just to get back in the lineup and think, all right, like, I'm in. This is good. It is good, but he has to make the most of that opportunity. So be ferocious. Be on the forecheck. Don't sit back. Talked a lot after their practice on Sunday. They had a full team day off yesterday, but I thought it was really interesting. And if you listen to Rick talking, like, there's almost always a nugget or two in his availabilities. And after the practice on Sunday, and I know that lots of people They're full up on the NFL on Sundays and maybe not paying attention to a Canuck practice in Nashville. And talked about the fact that he felt only half his team was getting what he was trying to preach defensively, which I thought was pretty alarming when they're 3-2. They've had a camp and a preseason of 5 games, and he says only half the guys. Maybe that's an oversell. He didn't name names, but he talked about the fact that way too many guys are backing up through the neutral zone, allowing opponents to come at them. And he wants guys, and I think he's talking about his forwards here, although some of the defensemen, Tyler Myers, maybe you got to be careful because if he hears charge forward, he's going to take off like he shot out of a cannon. But I think he's always talking about meeting pressure with pressure. And I think he wants his forwards, instead of backing up and basically rolling out a welcome mat into the offensive zone, he wants them to pressure in the neutral zone, try and break up plays, be disruptive, and those types of things. And so, that's what I'm looking for from Nils Höglander. If he can provide offense, great, but it's always been his play away from the puck. And we heard that Travis Green talked about from the top of the circles down in the offensive zone. Bruce Boudreau, clearly there was a disconnect, and now on to his 3rd NHL coach. So, he sat and watched the other night. That had to be a bit of a message. And Teddy Blueger's coming back. And so that's going to complicate matters here until they can facilitate some sort of Connor Garland trade. I think you're going to see a revolving cast of characters. Is it going to get to that for Anthony Beauvillier early in the season that he may come out? Like, there's another guy that he's got to find a way to contribute more than he has to this point. It's gone a little quiet for Dakota Joshua, although I don't think that he's likely to come out of the lineup, although maybe if Tocchet's trying to send messages. But Höglander gets in there tonight. I hope he makes the most of it because I do want to see it. I want to see him succeed. I believe there's a player there, but it's not enough just to say, hey, you're back in tonight. You're going to be in for the rest of the season. That's not the way it works. So I do think there's a little bit of pressure on him to perform. And again, that doesn't mean lighten it up on the score sheet. If that happens, great. But you have to notice them at the very least.
I think I look at the bottom 6 and I think Höglander's there to be a guy who can replace a top 6 player if you're making an in-game adjustment. I think that's the difference between him and Jack Studnicka as well. So I think that's something that I'm curious to see what happens. Are they happy with how the top 6 is running? If you're looking for a spark, like how often have we said spark and Höglander in the same sentence over the last couple of years, right? So I look at that as maybe looking to see why he's getting back in the lineup and something that he can bring that maybe Jack Studnicka can't. But you bring up a great point. When Teddy Blueger comes back, who's coming out, right? Like, who's coming out? Is it going to be the guy who has some more things aside from 5-on-5 and being able to contribute on a line? Like, is Dakota Joshua a guy that you can take off your penalty kill and it's not going to affect you that much? Like, maybe he's been solid on the penalty kill, I think, to this point in the season, but it's not like he's a top 4. You can't take him out of the lineup. I think that's going to be a spot for Höglander is, yes, you're in the 4th line role. You got to play that role correct, but he can also be that spark up in the lineup. And I just don't really see that. Like, I think there's a reason Anthony Beauvillier is down on the 4th line, right? I think that reason is he hasn't been able to provide that spark higher up in the lineup. So that's what I'd like to see from Höglander here moving forward.
Yeah, and I think, to your point, like, it's easy to look at the stats column and say, oh, there's nothing there for Beauvillier and it hasn't happened for P.S. Suter. But I mean, you're right. To be a team and an effective team, guys have roles. And so Dakota Joshua, part of his role is supposed to be physical, get in on the forecheck. We've seen Phil DiGiuseppe do that to a T. You want to believe that a guy like Joshua would be inspired by that. But if it's not happening for him offensively, he is part of the penalty kill. Now, Teddy Blueger comes back. Obviously, he's going to be part of the penalty kill. And so, if I'm Dakota Joshua, I'm not taking anything for granted because I do think there's more to give there. And you don't want him falling into any sort of complacency. He certainly hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt just in terms of, the longevity of his career. So I think there's more for a lot of those guys in the bottom 6. And with Teddy Blueger possibly coming back as early as Friday, we really haven't had an update with them out on the road. I would think a lot of those guys would want to use that as an impetus just to, be a little more pronounced in their performance here tonight against Nashville.
What'd you make of Ilya Mikheyev in your limited viewings, obviously, so far, but also Andrei Kuzmenko and how that kind of relates to each other?
I like the way they handled Mikheyev, and that was 13 minutes of ice time. It's been 9 months, and you're coming off knee surgery, and yes, there have been some practices, and they've ramped it up, but he hadn't had any game action. There was no need to test him and push him to his limits. So I think this is sort of like breaking in a racehorse a little bit, and that's what he's got to be for this team. There were some spurts and bursts where you saw the speed. I don't think it's all the way back yet, but talk about putting a guy in a position to succeed on that line with Paterson and Kuzmenko. And I don't think it was a coincidence that Andrei Kuzmenko sort of arrived really for the first time this season. I know he scored in Edmonton, but he had some jump to his game. And I think some of that was getting his buddy and his countrymen back. And he scores the game winner, and that was terrific. The wheeling, spinning assist on the Paterson goal was great too. But, it's more than that. When you're talking about Kuzmenko, we know that the offense is there, but he stands his ground in the blue paint, and OEL has to put the stick on him, takes a penalty, and that led to the Carson Soucy goal. And so, those are some of those little things sometimes that go unnoticed, certainly not by the coaching staff, but you want Kuzmenko to battle for his ice and to get to the front of the net and try and, be a problem so that defensemen are going to hook and hold and put a glove on him and those types of things. So, I like that line again. And we talked about this on Rink Wide. Like Elias Pettersson, 2 points a game. He's, up near the top of the scoring lead. And it just doesn't feel like we have seen anything close to his A game yet. And so that just speaks to how supremely talented he is, that the points follow him around, even if he's not at his very best. There's going to be nights where he is an absolute game breaker and game changer. I don't know that he's had to be that yet. And I know he had 4 on opening night. So, I'm aware of that. But even at that, Boeser was the star of that show, and there were some others. Petey will get there. And, I look forward to those nights. But I just like the fact that this guy's finding a way to contribute, to put up points, even if he's not at his best and if he's being hobbled, whether it was the shot that he took off the leg in Philadelphia or if it's remnants of the flu that cost him that week in the preseason. Again, we all know that there is more to give from Elias Pettersson, and it'll be there soon. But even without his very, very good stuff, he's still having an impact on these hockey games, and the Canucks have won more than they've lost.
A guy who's been given the good stuff. You talked about him in your ponderings on Paterson's Point weekly at Canucks.
You're really
Island.
liking that.
I love
you
it.
like the ponderings.
And I'm never going to give it up. That's the thing. Jeff knows that. In Paterson's Point this week, you highlighted Brock Boeser. Just talk about that a little bit for the listeners.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in this market are pulling for Brock, but I think he also had lost some of the benefit of the doubt that maybe he wasn't the player that everybody hoped he was going to be after those first 2 seasons with 29 and 26 goals. And he had morphed into more of a playmaker and try to, board battles. But last year with Horvat as the ace on the power play, he was kind of the odd man out. And so there were some questions coming back this season. We all know that it's going to be tough to get value out of his contract, but he can be a useful player. Not expecting 4 goals a night. That was incredible on opening night. But I like the fact that since opening night, he hasn't disappeared and hasn't gone quiet. And that's kind of been a knock on him in past seasons. And same with Connor Garland, that, it's not enough to score and then go 10, 12, 15 games without doing it again. And so for Boeser to score in Tampa with, that kind of goal scorers mentality, and then to back it up, I know it was an empty netter, but the fact that he's out late in the game, preserving and protecting a lead, that says something about him and that line that he's on. And so, it was just that line that when he came back to training camp and he said, I'm sort of at peace. I'm at peace with my father's passing. I've said my piece about wanting to be in Vancouver when he's been dogged by the trade talk and everything else. And so it's just struck me in these first 5 games, he looks like a guy that's at peace, and he's able to sort of be, free up in his mind and just go out and play. And the results are what the results are. He's got 6 goals. He didn't have 6 goals at Christmas last year, which is pretty mind-boggling, really, when you think about it. But that just underscores the struggles. And we all know about nearly being a healthy scratch in early December last year in that game against Arizona. And here he is. He's not coming out of the lineup anytime soon, the way that he's going. And on that line, Dave, your PB&J line, they're absolutely the most consistent line for the Vancouver Canucks for the first 5 games of the season.
We're going to get to our poll question in a second here, but I want to get your opinion, Jeff. Individual player goal songs, yes or no? What do you think?
Yeah, I've made it evidently clear over my years. Music's not a huge thing for me. I don't even hear it at the rink. I know it plays, but it's like in one ear and out the other between between whistles and all that. It just doesn't matter to me. So I do not care. Mark me down. If I can vote twice, I will. Yeah, it's just not one of those things. I know that
you can vote I'm angry.
Yeah,
that's
he's voting I'm angry.
You are I'm angry. You're the 2%.
I remember when Brandon Sutter was here and he had I think it was the Tim McGraw song, and that was I'm not I'm not a music guy, but I'm certainly not a country music guy. So that one always stuck out for the wrong reasons for me, but he seemed to enjoy it. We didn't hear it that often, obviously, because he didn't score a ton of goals. He did have a hat trick though in that no fans in the stands season against Ottawa. So no, I just and you're never going to get universal appeal and consensus on this with the fan base, but I'm just find a song that works and stick with it. And then you hope that you hear it a whole lot, an awful lot over the course of the season.
They had it. I thought they had it in Holiday, but anyways.
Alex DeBrincat right now with the Eminem song where it's like na 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 na, because that's something that I kind of like the players one.
Can you
we'll
sing
touch
more
on
of the song?
No, I'm with you there. Like if you can find a song that has a hook that the crowd can get into, like that.
Talking.
Yeah, like that seems to be something that the Canucks should look at.
Yeah. All right. Final one here, Jeff. We're going to get to our Greta read in a second. Greta Bar, the good folks there. We had the party down there. So I'm setting you up here, Jeff.
Okay.
7 hours at the rink. You've been there all day. You get to go to a bar. You get to sit down with a beer. You get one appetizer. What's your go-to appetizer at a bar?
Probably nachos if they're done properly. A little picky in particular when it comes to that. I've had enough over the years as my expanding waistline.
Oh, you got nothing, Jeff.
But yeah, if you could guarantee me that they were like sort of B grade and above nachos, then I'm all over that and like hands off. Leave the plate to me. I just want all myself. Potato skins are sort of an underrated. But again, they can be like the mushy middle and they can be really disappointing. And you don't, I just, if I'm all in for potato skins and they come and then like they're soggy, like it's just so deflating. So I'm going nachos.
So I was telling you about the Canucks Army party that we had last week or a couple weekends ago here, and the $2 hot dogs. That's all we talked about. We didn't talk enough about the nachos. The Canucks Army nachos were getting great reviews at the party. So we're gonna have to get you back there, Jeff, and we'll see if the nachos live up to your B+ rating or not.
I'm sure they do.
They absolutely do. And it's the guacamole.
Oh,
the good guacamole in my eyes is like the creamier one, more of a sauce than an actual kind of salsa type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
creamier guacamole. They had that at Greta. Good stuff there. Jeff, good stuff from you as per usual. We'll chat with you next Tuesday, and we'll make you tell us about what you're going to have at a bar again next week.
All right, guys, enjoy the game tonight, and make sure you feel that frenzy.
Oh, yeah, we're frozen about it, that's for sure. Jeff Paterson from Rink Wide joining us here. J-Pat is brought to you, as I just mentioned, the great folks at Greta Bar YVR. Greta is the home for Canucks Army's home for food and drinks. I got to rewrite the ad. The Canucks Army's home for food and drinks and watching the game. And we will certainly be having another Greta party soon because that place was a blast. It was absolutely packed. So much fun at Greta. When we were there, I tell you, man. And you know what it was? The coolest part probably of the whole night had to be when Andrei Kuzmenko scored the first goal for the Canucks. They start pouring Pink Whitney from the bar. We had people up on the bar. They're pouring the bottles. It was a blast. And we'll be doing one of those. I know I've already had a lot of people reach out as well. So we'll get there. And the nachos, they were a huge hit, man. They were a huge hit. The Canucks Army nachos. Look into it, Quads. You're going to be at the next one. You're not going to Edmonton again.
Nope. Our poll question. Let's get to it. Let's get to our Atlas Goods poll question, as always, brought to you by the great folks.
I've got some thoughts on this.
Goods. Go to atlasgds.com. Use promo code CC15 for 15% off your first order of pop rinds, low carb, high protein, fresh pork rinds straight out of your microwave or air fryer. Be sure to shop local with Atlas Goods. Our question: would you like to have individual player goal songs right now? 53% say yes, it's fun and cool. 45% say no, one song for the team, and 2%, including our friend Jeff Patterson, say I'm angry.
He's pissed about it, yeah.
Where are you lining on this?
I think
yes. you should absolutely.
I think it's 100% yes. And I know a lot of people think if you had the right hit, here's the thing. If the Canucks had just like the perfect home song where they was like every goal they scored, all the fans knew it was coming, knew exactly what to do, sing along. But I've been some players this year that the teams that have the individual goal songs, they're fun. Like they are a little bit more fun. Aaron, do you know if they have them in Edmonton? Do you guys have individual goal songs out there or no?
They don't.
They don't have it out there, so it's just a team. And I think that I would go with individual ones. Gives the players a little bit of personality. And I know Jeff brought up Brandon Sutter. Man, when we were just the media was at the games there, that night he had the hat trick. It was unreal to hear that Tim McGraw country song blaring through the speakers 3 times for him on his hat trick night. That's a moment. I like it. I like
our pal Matt Sakaris jumped in. He quote tweeted our poll question, and he said, one song, it's a celebratory moment, want the whole crowd participating in the sing-along.
See, that's what's tough. Like if I do think about like a playoff atmosphere, I think that's where I would change my mind. I would but then
I'm just surprised it's not like Thunderstruck or Sweet Caroline.
I just think like playoff moments would be really fun.
But what they have now,
I don't like it.
nobody's singing along to that. Is my point.
No, because everyone's cheering, and it's not like you're like high five, la la la.
Maybe
la.
they are. When's the last time you
Maybe.
sat in the crowd?
I went last year to the Flyers game.
I went to a game last year too in the crowd, but I was in like club. I didn't.
Oh yeah,
there wasn't
I
much
bet you
cheering
were,
going on there. It was just like the press box.
Yeah, I know you and your buddies up there, all you guys.
Yeah, in
probably
in
the Nation Network guys.
Club box Ivory Towers.
Yeah, all you guys together there. I bet.
All right.
Drinking champagne and
Okay.
caviar for the sides. You never even heard of nachos probably in your life, I bet.
Caviar is what is caviar? No, caviar is like octopus, right?
No. Sturgeon eggs.
What?
Sturgeon, those big, huge fish that float around. They suck their way through the bottom of the river, the Fraser River out there. Sturgeon.
Yeah, I know. Nils Höglander goes sturgeon fishing.
No, he's not a sturgeon guy. He doesn't.
What?
I talked to him already about
I
that.
thought he said he was sturgeon.
He wanted to. He's a more of a lake, or he's a river like.
Okay, so if you want to be and then you're not, does that mean you suck at fishing? Like,
no.
Tried
Here's the
and
thing. No,
didn't
you're
catch
gonna
anything?
no. You'll catch. You can. What I hear about anything on the Fraser, you're gonna catch a sturgeon. You might not catch one of these 6-foot monsters, but you're gonna get like a 2-footer. They're big, man. You see how big some.
Nils
of these sturgeon
Höglander's never going to talk to me again for suggesting he might suck at fishing.
No, he's good at fishing. He grew up.
I know he is.
He's from the north, bud. He's from the north part of Sweden. They don't speak good English up there, and they love to fish and hunt. That's what I know about the north of Sweden. I only got 2 facts about him there.
They sound like you're Swedish.
I'm just saying the attack, but like my Swedish is getting better by the day.
I know it is.
And what I've heard is the southern part of Sweden is very good at speaking English. All the big cities, but up north it's the hunting, it's the fishing. They just speak Swedish up there. But the more and more I learn about Swedish, and the more and more I learn of Swedish, I should say, some of the words are pretty similar. Like pizza. You know what pizza is in Swedish?
Of course I don't.
Pizza. Well, there you go.
Oh.
That's all it is.
I could have guessed that maybe.
You probably could have. I
think every time you ask me from here on out, I'll just say the English word and hope for the best. Okay, so now when you go to like IKEA,
yep,
does a lot more make sense? Like
I'm getting good at
their names.
I'm better at the pronunciation of the accents, which I had a base understanding of, so I think that's that part's okay. But I did want to mention this because Lisa's always in the chat. I'm learning on the Duolingo, which is like meh. It's all right. It's good. I've got a 9-day streak going, and I'm doing 20 minutes every day, 9 days. I've done some more days. But the funny thing is, like I mentioned this to Lisa, because the person that they always use for like sentences is named Lisa. So I'm always talking about Lisa in the thing. So
there
like,
you go.
I can't speak like full sentences yet or anything. I can say like, min fru are valdig smart. It's like, my wife is very smart.
What I was trying to ask you was okay, this is interesting. Because I was about to ask you if now when you go to IKEA, like are all the names of the stuff of the series, like are they all
No, I'm not there, dude. I've been doing this for 9 days.
No, but they are. Like I just put it in Google Translate and they are. Like, for example, I just looked at what's on sale. They got their sale going on at IKEA right now. Kopang, which is like a series of dressers, means cupping.
Okay.
And Malm means oar.
Okay.
And I looked up Billy, which just means Billy.
That's just the name?
It's just the name.
Okay.
No, it's interesting because they got other stuff like Sommersloja.
Summer probably.
The J, is it ya? It's pronounced ya. Like J-A is ya.
Yeah.
Sommersloja.
Yeah.
I said it right?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, Canucks 6:15 tonight. Back to we're not going to do any
people in the chat are legitimately saying, please start talking about the Canucks again.
Yeah. We are going to get to anyone else. So this is a good time. Whatever topics you want us to talk about or discuss here on the show.
Do we want to talk about Tyler Myers being on the third pairing? Because I don't think it's that much of a big deal.
Yeah,
I just finished seeing some morning tape. Yeah, pull the lines up, courtesy of our pal Thomas Drance.
Drance, it's good to have Drance on the road tweeting out the lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Murph, and what's Murph doing? Taking pictures of Drance. That's all he's doing on the road there. He's not tweeting out the lines.
Don't be mean to Murph.
I'm not being mean to Murph.
You are being mean to Murph.
No, I'm just saying I'm literally just stating facts. That's all I'm doing. He's taking pictures of Drance there.
I think Murph does more than that. But anyways.
No, I know. He works hard.
I know you hate Murph, but
whoa, man.
Tyler Myers alongside Carson Soucy on the third pair.
I don't read into it much. And what
I don't either because Talkett spoke about it after, and he said, it's going to be the
committee that they're
stuff.
talking about, right?
Let's see. We'll see. Myers was on the second pair last game, but he also finished the night with the lowest ice time.
Right.
I think of any skater, not even just defenseman.
Hmm.
I
don't think so. Someone was under 10 minutes last game. I think it was Studnicka.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, it was defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
I'm interested. I want to keep seeing how Thatcher Demko continues to build on the season that he's been up to, right? I think he's obviously had the great start. He's going to be back between the pipes again tonight. I think the guy, though, like this whole game, it is the change to the lineup that I'm curious about. And it's not the defense pairings flip-flopping, third pair, second pair. It's Höglander, man. I brought it up earlier in the show. I want to see what Nils Höglander can do. And I think when I look at this lineup, I think, okay, who are they going to put up into the top 6 for that spark if PDG doesn't have it this game, if Brock Boeser loses his confidence, if all these things happen, who's the guy? To me, it's Höglander. And I think that's why he's in the lineup tonight instead of Studnicka, because Höglander's not killing penalties. He's not playing on the power play. It's just about what he can do at 5-on-5 right now with his situation. So I'd like to see him, maybe get a couple shifts here with Paterson and Kuzmenko, or Paterson and Mikheyev here. If the coach is falling out of favor with Kuzmenko, which happens, every few games or so, Kuzmenko has those games and maybe he doesn't have it that night, maybe you can use Höglander in that spot. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. My question to you is, do you think they're going to get out of this Hughes-Hronek pairing anytime soon?
Nope.
No? That's not going to be, that's just going to be, here's 25 minutes, take it or leave it.
I think they're going to keep doing that. Like Mark Friedman's in the top 4 at line rushes.
Yeah, we'll see. He's playing with Ian Cole. Ian Cole's going to be the guy to help him out there quite a bit.
Yeah.
We'll get to anyone else here in a second. Let's get the graphic up. I like the graphic. Worked hard on this. It's a nice little graphic. It's anyone else, and this is our segment where the folks, they can give us a question, they can give us a topic, they can say just talk about the Canucks, and we'll do that. Whatever you want, we'll do all of that. It's brought to you by the great folks at DoorDash. You can order multiple restaurants with the Double Dash, and you get the same delivery without additional fees. And for a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more. And you can use that with our promo code NATION25. That's 25% off up to $10 value, 0 delivery fees on the DoorDash app. Enter code NATION25, all capital letters, 25 like the number that Andrew Castles used to wear for the Vancouver Canucks squads. I'll get you 25% off. Nation 25. Anyone else? What do we got in the chat? Do we have anything coming in yet? I know the chat's about 30 seconds behind.
Well, a lot of people are pointing out that Carson Soucy with Chaos Giraffe. Corey Shuchuk called him Loosey Goosey Carson Soucy with Chaos Giraffe.
Tankar, our listener from Sweden, says Swedes from the north doesn't talk much at all.
Well, that checks out for Nils Höglander.
Listen, I'm just telling you what I've been told. I talk to a lot of Swedish people pretty much every day. Right?
Oh, here's a good one.
I get stuff in there.
Lisa asked what Bert is dressing up as for Halloween.
Oh, does he have
Bert is a lion for Halloween. Yeah, he's got a little lion costume. I've got a strongman costume, from a circus.
Yeah.
So you know what that is. And then my girlfriend's got a showman thing. So she's gonna be the ringleader.
Are you taking him trick-or-treating?
No, I don't think so.
That's a thing, right? You can bring your dog to the pet store for a trick-or-treat day.
I don't know.
I think that's a thing.
I might have to.
If not,
there's the Bert
pet
cam.
stores should do that, and they can get a bunch of photos to their social media. I tell you what, I should be a marketer. I tell you, that's good stuff there.
Mm-hmm. I'll be taking lots of photos.
Best goal song in your opinion from Jeremy Lee right now in the NHL, or what you would have? Let's do both. I think that I think what DeBrinket's got with the Eminem song is great because everybody in the it plays the horn super loud, and then it goes boom boom na 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 na, and everybody in the crowd's into it. It's just a fun moment. And how often do we see that with baseball, where a song catches a crowd? In baseball, you're snoozing half the game, just eating your popcorn and your Cracker Jacks and your Pepsis and all these things. But when you're not snoozing, you're singing along the trumpet song. Come on, that captured everything.
Sorry,
I think you can do that as a player, and it's the same to me as listen, how often does a closer come in? Maybe 60 games to 80 games a year. If you have one of the top goal scorers scoring 40 to 50 goals a year, you're not getting it every game, and it's only on home games as well. So I like that, dude. I like that.
Here's a really funny comment in our private chat. Sorry to put you on blast, Aaron. From our producer, Aaron Bordado, who said, the old Chicago Blackhawks goal song. I forgot what it's called, but you must know what I mean. Yes, Aaron, we do. No. And it is Chelsea Dagger.
No, it's not. We're not allowed to say it on the show.
Of course we're allowed to say it. No. Chelsea Dagger, which, Aaron, I will have you know, I don't think the DJ got fired, but the DJ got in trouble for playing Chelsea Dagger at a Canucks game.
Canucks fans, they're not going to
stand not for like that.
Sam Ross with a question here. How long do you think till Baines gets a chance?
Are you not going to let me answer the question?
What was the question?
The question was the one you said. We'll both answer this. Then you answered it and then moved on to the next question about goal songs.
Okay, what's the best?
My
one
favorite
you
goal song right now.
Mhm.
It's it. Same vein as Aaron. The Boston Bruins one. It's still very good. It's very good. It's exactly what everybody wants the Canucks to be, where it's one you all sing along to. If you're not going to go individuals, you want one that's going to work. I don't think what they have, the La La La, is working, but neither did the 30 seconds of Van Halen that they used to have. Right?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
What would be yours?
Like personal, if it was an individual goal
If
song.
you scored a goal in the NHL and the crowd, the horn goes, the horn stops, your song plays. What's your song?
Cowboy by Kid Rock.
You were just singing that before you
yeah,
got
it's in my
here.
head.
I'm gonna be
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
be a 50 Cent song. I think in the club would be pretty sweet. Like right when the horn stopped. Oh, that was my baseball.
That was your baseball walk-up song.
But I think if it like after the horn stop was like the start of In the Club, I can't do it. We're gonna get kicked off Spotify again.
Because you sound so accurate.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again. I know I sound just like 50 Cent. Yeah, Sam Ross. How long do you think till Baines gets a chance? I think that he's the first winger to get called up, so I think it's more about injuries than anything. I think Stadik is going to get sent down. Then I'm curious to see when they do need a guy to come up again. I mean, Stadik can play some center, so maybe he gets the call first. But Baines is playing these guys, and Will Lannon talked about it yesterday on the show. You want to be an NHLer playing in the AHL? Baines is starting to cross that line a little bit, man. I think he's the guy who's going to get a chance up here. And Abbotsford, by the way, in action tonight, Tuesday night, as well as tomorrow. Yep. I'll be out there tomorrow.
We'll have coverage of both games, courtesy of our pal Cody Sievertson over at Canucks Army. Okay, this is a good one. Last one we'll get to from everyone else. Yep. What are the chances the Canucks bring Willander up for a few games this fall? He's already doing better than the chaos draft.
They need help on right D. They got a right D.
Could they actually sign him? Because people are seeing Zach Benson made the team. Obviously hasn't played his 9 games yet, but
he's going to get a full season in the NCAA. And what else do you want? I mean, you could give him a second year, or you could just bring him on and see what happens. Start him in the AHL next year if you want.
Did Quinn Hughes get 1 year or 2?
The Canucks organization, Quinn Hughes got 1 after the draft. But the Canucks organization, they know what's going on out there in Abbotsford, man. There's a think about it. If you're Patrick Alvin and you're looking at Boston University, great school, develops a lot of NHLers, that's for sure. Hockey East, great division, but you know what you're getting in-house in Abbotsford. So I'm going to bet that they would like to
Abbotsford though. Can't this guy play in the show now?
He might
on this team.
What I'm saying, I'm talking more about development, I guess, and maybe this season it's not right into the NHL, force him in.
Sure.
He might take some time. Listen, man, he's a defenseman. You know they take a little bit longer, right? Like,
new question: could Tyler Myers crack Boston College or Boston University's lineup?
Yeah, you'd be a monster on that team.
All right,
forward, defenseman, whatever you
think. There you go. Okay, get us out of here. Let's go. We got Betway.
No, we got more stuff too.
Okay. You got some prospect stuff. Go ahead.
No, I got no prospect stuff. You're gonna see this on Twitter in about an hour here. It's time for the Light the Lamp. Brought to you by our friends at Four Winds Brewing who are coming on board. They've been here this week with us. Family-owned and operated business in Delta, home of the easy drinking Four Winds Lager. We got into trouble yesterday with our clip on the show. Yes, we're not doing that again. I'm not talking about any bus drivers and names. I'm not talking about anything. We're just gonna get the read done.
When you say we got in trouble, you mean between us?
Between us,
we had trouble closing out the show.
Aaron had to step in and close the show out for us yesterday. We're not doing that again. The Light the Lamp competition, okay? Vancouver's playing Nashville tonight, and we want to know who's going to score the first goal for Vancouver. And if you nail it, you win a $25 gift card. You could win because there could be everybody. What if 45 people say Andre Kuzmenko? Listen, we're not making that kind of money. So one of you who nails it is going to win a $25 gift card to the Four Winds Tap Room, which is located in Delta, 72nd and River Road. How many River Roads they got around here? I know River Road in Richmond. Anyways, you'll see a clip up on our social media. It's going to be on Twitter.
Yes.
It's going to be on Twitter. You'll see a show clip brought to you by the great folks at Four Winds there. Reply there. Who do you think is going to win? And make sure you ask for your Four Winds lager at your local liquor store. Or man, the world's getting so you can have it delivered right to your front door. fourwindsbrewing.ca, and you can double down with the folks at Atlas. Apparently, you saying you'll be there, and by the end of the day, you can get beer delivered to your house.
Same-day shipping.
You can get pork rinds delivered to your house. DoorDash, you can get pet stuff delivered to your house. Why do we even leave the house? Is what I say. I haven't left the house in a couple days, to be honest.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So everybody's in the chat here. You'll see a clip here in a minute. Aaron, they're asking a lot of Aaron. I'll tell you that. They want Aaron to turn the show around. He had to close out the show yesterday.
Yeah.
Now we need a clip.
Aaron, you want to host?
In 5 minutes from Aaron here.
Okay, let's go. Betway.
That'll be up in a second. And I did miss
Get on it, Aaron.
No, Lisa's mad. Lisa, she should be mad. I know I missed the ding dong on
Oh,
DoorDash
that's right.
earlier.
Hate when you miss the ding.
Did I do the reads though for DoorDash? You should have done the ding
Yeah,
dong.
you did everything. Go, Betway. Let's go. Get us out of here.
Man. My back's getting sore actually, just from carrying this damn show. All right, Betway, let's get out of here. Canucks game at 6:15 tonight. We got to stop screwing around so much on this show.
Betway, let's go.
Tomorrow we're gonna have a lot. I got Abbotsford. I got Hunter B today at 4:00. We got Abbotsford to talk about, Vancouver to talk about lots of stuff. Well, I'm waiting. There it is. I don't know what it is half the time. I do this at 7:30 in the morning and I forget because I got a mind of a goldfish. Our bet today: Vancouver Canucks to win. Quads, I think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna win tonight, right?
I got the mind of a goldfish. Did you just say that?
Yeah, the memory of one.
Yes, but you said the mind of a goldfish.
Well, that too.
Yeah, Canucks are winning for sure.
They say goldfish are bright. They just don't have great memories.
Over 6.5 total goals. And Elias Paterson to score
Give me
a
that
goal
Paterson goal, though.
in Nashville at plus 750 odds. So a $10 bet returns you
bad, though,
85. Hey, Faber's been right before on these bets.
And Betway, they're up there. Well, I almost screwed that one up again. At Betway, they don't like me going on these big plus ones because we're hitting on these. And these ones, I don't know, these ones just feel good about it. It's,
okay.
So Canucks to win over 6.5 total goals between both teams, and Paterson to score tonight. $10 bet. It's going to return you 85. And who's been killing it in the chat all day today? Antagonist.
Yeah. And
he or she agrees, and we're not going down that road again. They agree that that's a solid bet. Antagonist says I got Hughes over 2.5 shots. Yeah, that's I'd take that too. Tomorrow I'll hit the shots and stuff. Anyways, plus 750. Yeah, $10 bet. You return that for 85. You can eat like Quads does for breakfast. $85 when he goes to his breakfast spots.
All right,
big old paychecks of yours.
19 plus play. If you choose to play, please play responsibly. We'll wrap it up there.
Bet the responsible way.
Yeah. For my co-host Chris Faber and our technical producer Aaron Bordado, my name is Dave Quadrelli. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Canucks Conversation.
Canucks Conversation with Quads and Faber. New episodes every weekday, 1:30 across the board, except for Wednesdays, 1 o'clock. We'll see you there live on the Canucks Army YouTube channel. For more information, visit CanucksArmy.com.
How about keep it to a thank you, Jim?